Welcome to Education Today. I'm Ben Collins.
And I'm Lauren Bowser from the Armstrong High School in the Armstrong School District.
Tonight we're taking a glimpse into a cool summer program that was for the community's youth and to help them in their academic achievements. This program has become an annual staple in the community and offers students an alternative, educational program to be part of.
To help give us insight into this program, we have invited one of the leaders of this program in to talk to us today about it. Welcome to Education Today. Would you please introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us all about yourself?
I'm Joan More. I taught for the Armstrong School District for 25 years, and I'm now a retired teacher. I taught for kindergarten, extended day kindergarten, and I substitute, as I said, for the district, and this is my 6th year of subbing for the district, and I created this summer reading program.
Could you please tell us what this program is?
What it is every summer we meet at the Lenape Elementary. It's funded by the Lenape Elementary PTO. And what I do is I put up a brochure like this, and then we have on it, this is summer, what the topic is, what about reading? And then I have each date, which we start on July 7th, and then every Monday in July, and then I put down what we are doing. So this year we centered on endangered species.
What is your role with the summer reading program?
Well, I have been a member of the PTO since my son, who's now 43, was in kindergarten in 5, and I've been a member ever since. And they give me a budget of $2,500 a year for any reading programs I'd like to do. The summer reading program varies on prices of what we spend, but I am able to buy all the materials I need, all the crafts, everything I need to do the program, and they fund it.
Okay. Why did you take on the task of organizing this program?
I taught extended day kindergarten, as I said earlier, and I also I have a reading specialist, my master's in reading, and I love reading. I helped and assisted for 3 years the summer reading program at Katanning Township, and then we went up and we did a couple years up at West Hills, and then my home school is Lenape, so I decided to come back there. The funding at KT was from their PTO, West Hills, their PTO, and then this is from Lenape PTO.
How many years has the summer reading program been running?
Well, the program I've done, this was my 4th year I did it at Lenape Elementary, but I've done 9 years of helping others.
What does the program offer to students?
Well, what it is, when they come in, I'll read, if you don't mind, this little letter to get them coming and excited. We have 850 some students at Lenape Elementary. All we can handle in the library is 50. Then we have a summer reading program I also help is in Fort City Library, and we have 50 we can handle there. So we give an opportunity of about approximately 1,000 students, 100, and it's as max as we can do. So this letter goes out, and I'll read it to you so they know the date and time. This goes out in May so that we get our pool of children for this summer. Come and learn about endangered animals this summer. Travel each Monday in July to different parts of the world. Find out where monkeys, tigers, pandas, and sharks live. We will explore their worlds through varied activities. Books will be available each week to take home and read. And for each book you read, you'll receive a ticket to win a door prize at the end of the program. Our final class will be going to the Pittsburgh Zoo to see the animals we just studied. Return the form to the office ASAP. There's room for 50 students. You will be sent a reminder at the end of June. So on this paper here, there's the dates and also what dates they can attend. And I've done it so often the kids know if they can't attend all of them, it's still valid. Then probably about 2 weeks before July starts, I send out this program to all the people that signed up. The summer of 2015 is ready for a reading program. All we need is you. It will be held every Monday in July from 10 o'clock until noon at the Lenape Elementary Library. We will explore these worlds of endangered animals. July 6 monkeys, July 13 pandas, July 20th tigers, and July 27 sharks. When you arrive each Monday, you will need to sign at the desk, go into the library, and find a place to sit. We will have 5 stations. At each one, you will listen to information and do an activity relating to Animal of the Week. You will enjoy a snack, food for that week, and finally, you will have time to select books to take home. For each book read, you will receive a ticket. The tickets goes into a drawing for prizes the last day. Our field trip will be to the Pittsburgh Zoo. Parents will need to accompany their children on the trip, and I'm grateful to PTO for this summer reading program. And all of this is free through PTO's funding. The trip to the Pittsburgh Zoo and the Pittsburgh tickets to the zoo are all free.
Why is it important for students to attend and be a part of it?
What we find is it's called, the term's called from reading a summer slide, that students slide in the summer, they don't pick up books, they don't read. And if we keep them reading, keep them excited about reading, what's the program's to do, they do better when school starts. The school district used to sponsor, and I was part of it for years, a summer reading program for kids, and then through lack of funding, the program went. So now with the PTOs, we picked it up, and we have the money, we do fundraisers, it's very successful, and we do get around 50 that come. We've never turned anyone away, but usually that's kind of how the max goes. Once we send out the flyers, we get about 50.
What do you hope the students are getting out of the program?
Well, it's not only coming together educationally. When we did the program, each week, as we had said already, they learn a different animal, and there was, with each station, they learn about that station, and at that station, there's a selected part of the, say, the tiger, like when it was born and so forth. So they have 5 learning stations of learning about the animal. And then at the end, we have, with each section, we have a comprehension, so they're listening and reading. The topic is exciting because kids love animals, so you pick something they want to do. They take books home, and the books are not library books because they're already, ready for the summer to be put away. We have our own selection of books we buy, and we put them out. The incentive, too, is to read, and then at the end they get a gift. But we get them reading, and some kids have really been turned on, how many books they can read, and we had a lot of animal books and other books. When I put out the books, since I do my teaching and reading, I have all levels of reading, chapter books down to the lower level of books. And at the end, they all get a book to read, to keep. And these were the books we selected. There is a whole series of endangered species, so the PTO bought all the books, and we had them all out, and they could select any one they wanted. So it's not only coming and learning about different things and enjoying reading and getting them turned on. So, and we meet every Monday, and I'm really shocked when the doors open the first Monday that these kids are ready to go. And I've always kept it on Monday, and it seems to be a good way to start the week.
How do students become involved with this program?
Well, I just said earlier, they get the book or get the paper, and then they sign up, and then I send a reminder. And that's how they become involved. And since we've done it so many years, they're waiting for summer reading to happen. And what I emphasize too, if they can't come to all of them, it's okay, because they go on vacations. If they even get to 1 or 2, come as many times as you can. So that's emphasized too. So we kind of have a flow. Sometimes we have 45 or 50, other times we're down to 35. It depends on what's happening that week. But we do, like I said, have an open door just to keep coming in and getting a chance to read and be with others.
How's the program funded?
Through the PTO. Like I said, they gave me a $2,500 allowance. I also do Read Across America, and we give a book to each student in March, and I do a summer reading, not a summer, but a program for the Read Across America, and we have a whole kind of things we do on that. So that money's set aside every year, and some years I use more, and some I have an author come in. It depends on what I can get the author for, or an illustrator come in, and so that's part of the program too. They meet a real live author. They can order books from the author, and then we always buy books that the author brings in for the library and donate books to the library too.
Do parents attend with their students?
They can do either one. They can come with the students. They have to come in every morning with them. They can stay with them. We have a few moms that the children are a little maybe uneasy. They stay, but basically they leave them off and go. And we have all the course, the helpers are teachers, and parent volunteers help me do the program. But and they have all their clearances, of course, to work with them. But it's kind of like a 2-hour. The parents can leave and do something else. But if they want to stay, they can stay. We really emphasize we don't want any children under the age of 5 who are not participating, because you really don't want a mother with the baby. They can leave, and if they want to sit out in the lobby. We just don't want the crying and the disruption, I guess is to say. And they're very, very sensitive to that. They don't bring the little ones in. They know they can be with us safe, and they can go, or if they want to stay, they get someone else and leave the younger children at home.
So do you see the parents' involvement as important?
Well, yes, because when they come in, like I said, we give them this, they get a folder, they get a marker. I have here too that we give the parents this little summer bingo paper, and then they can see activities they can do each day, like let's say today you're going to read a book that's read to your pet one day, read to your child, so they can fill this out too. And the parents do come, and every year, of course, they ask me, when it's going to happen and when it's happening. So once we get them coming, we do have a wonderful response to it. And again, parents, I go to the PTO meetings, and they know I'm out there ready to get them into reading.
Okay, thanks very much. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Armstrong School District Education Today. We'll talk more about the summer reading program with Joan More, so don't change that channel.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star, and who can change the world of a fifth grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
Vince Mercuri, Executive Director of the Open Door. Worried, scared, confused, not sure where to turn for help? The Open Door, a behavioral health organization, has a full range of addiction counseling services and mental health crisis intervention services which may be able to help. Call 724-465-2605 or 1-877-333-2470. The Open Door, steps towards hope, courage, and recovery. Brought to you by the Armstrong, Indiana Drug-Free Communities Coalition.
The brain is a remarkable organ. It's almost infinite in its capacity. Its ability to reach its full potential is limited by only one thing: the heart. For if the heart isn't fully engaged in what you're doing, if you have no drive, no passion, the brain will simply go through the motions. Find your success at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
We're back with Armstrong School District's Education Today. We're talking about the summer reading program held each year at Lenape Elementary School with the chairwoman, teacher, Joan More. Let's take a different perspective here. What benefit, if any, does the summer reading program have for parents?
I think the benefit for the parents is that children can go somewhere safe and have an educational program for reading, and they can leave them if they choose, and that they know they're having something educational and keeping them in for the summer reading, keeping them reading. And that seems to be, the parents that come feel that's valuable and it's worth it.
I understand there are different themes each year. What was this past year's theme, and what themes have you used previously?
This was What About Reading. Last year was science, everything to do with science. We did different science experiments. We had a friend of mine that works for Bayer, and she brought, for one of them, we did electricity was one topic, and she brought the machine where you touch it and your hair all stands up and everybody holds each other, and does that. And there were other, like I said, other topics. I had men come in and women come in that did things with scientific experiments. And then the year before that, we did, say, for example, things with dinosaurs. Every year, where I get my themes are, the National Library Association of the United States, every year they pick, by January, you go to a meeting and they have a beautiful folder, and then there's all these activities they give you to do. And you can select as many as you want or make up your own. And so you get the themes from there. Well, this year's topic was superheroes. And what they do in the United States, every state you go in, every library is doing the same thing. Well, since I helped my friend do superheroes, I thought I'm going to do something different. So I came up with this theme on my own, and I want to do the endangered species because this is only 4, there's so many. So kids are aware. Actually, one of the last centers we do is on how can we protect the endangered species from becoming extinct. So that's why I got into this program this year. But every year, the major theme is from the National Library Association reading, but I kind of went on my own this year and did this one. And what it is next year, I won't know till January.
What all do students work on during the reading program?
Okay, well, I'll show you what we did. The first one was monkeys, and of course this was our book on monkeys, and these were I said from our Scholastic. The children made at the end this little monkey, and what I did is I have a lot of the things pre-cut and this is one little fella, pre-cut and done so that when they come to that station, we have 20 minutes per station. And if they had to cut this all out, it would take a lot of times. So some things are pre-cut, but at the end they all have the finished item, which goes home. I'll show you what I did too to set up my centers, because I have parent volunteers and teachers volunteer to come in. And what I did first is to access prior knowledge. I have this paper that the kids came in and they had to answer questions. For example, what are monkeys? What are the two groups of monkeys? How many kinds are there? So before we start, we assess their prior knowledge. KWL, if you've known that process. And then what I had was these were the centers, because what I did is I read as much about monkeys as I could, and I made them into different categories, and I'll tell you what they are. And then the people, in other words, I did everything, and the people you could walk in and do this. So I couldn't have them give me hours of time to pre-train, so they just had to read this. This first station was monkey habitat. The second station, what are monkeys? And the third station was the old and new world monkeys, kinds of monkeys. And the fourth station was monkey messages. And I have down there, if we can show that, is we went into when we did the monkey messages, is they all got mirrors and they had to make monkey faces, and they really like that. So that's not, and how monkeys communicate is through their faces. So we did that. Then we had another station. Our sixth station is they went into the gym and they did monkey activities. We had 10 monkey jumps up and down. And then we had 10 monkey scratches, scratch your head, left hand, right hand. Monkey walk, bend forward and reach down and walk. And then 10 monkey banana reaches, stand on your tiptoes and reach for banana. Monkey calls from side to side while making monkey noises. Of course, this was a big hit. Monkey swing your arms back and forth and touch to the ground. And then monkey dance, thumbs up, and then we did a monkey dance. So what I tried to do with each one of these was to put in physical activities. Then we had at the end of all the stations, after each person read their station of what the information was, then they had a comprehension question paper, and the kids worked together on it. And I found I had to change the first, when I did monkeys, I just wrote the questions and the children had to write it in. But what I realized was with the time restraints, and you've got to keep this moving in the 20-minute time slots, from then on I did ABC, like, you could multiple choice. Mm-hmm. And that helped so much because we can get through the time. Writing was a little difficult, especially with the first, second graders writing. And then a snack went for each one. We had monkey food. I made a bag of dried bananas, cran raisins, sunflower seeds, and gummy worms, because these are the foods that monkeys actually eat. So I wanted to make sure that the snack went with it. And I'll show you each one we did each week. There's that one. Then we did pandas. Again, with the panda, this was a little craft they made. And I wrote up all the things that they had about pandas, and then people could read each section. And then we did the one with the little tiger, and these were my own creations. This was on tigers. And then the last one I got this Oriental tray, which was kind of neat because I didn't have to do anything except put it together. And then we had books. The only one I had books for, they could read from the stations. These are all my own. I ran them off, as you saw, and I read everything, and they were divided up. But these were on sharks, and these were from the library in Katanning, and then they could just read the book, and they could read in 15 minutes, read each book. So these were the different stations for that one. So this was the only one I could actually find books for. These were a combination of all the books I could find to read, for them to come in and read. I had, if you want me to mention names, if not, I had several people helping me that were teachers or PTA volunteers. So that's how the program went. And it was a lot of fun. And all the snacks went with, we had, for pandas, we had celery with peanut butter and cream cheese, or plain to facilitate the bamboo. For the tigers, we had animal crackers because they eat meat. That was the bit close I could get. And then for the sharks, I bought shark gummies, and we had goldfish for the sharks. So I try to get something that was real, but not the real thing. If that makes sense. And they enjoyed the snack too when we did the snacks and food, because it always went with what did the animals eat. We had a section on what they ate. And then the last one for each one was when they, the main thing is we know is when they lose their habitat, that's when they become endangered. And I was shocked the amount of sharks that are killed a year. There's over 100,000 sharks killed a year Yeah, and you hear it on the news and so forth. But they're killed for, they make soup out of them, they kill them for different things. And then I saw in one of the books how many are just killed and just thrown and disposed of and not used for any purposes. So of all the endangered species right now, I would feel the sharks is one that we weren't aware of as becoming extinct rapidly. They said within 10 years we could be very endangered, more than we are now, because we're losing 100,000 a year just on non-purposeful things.
Wow. Being a former teacher, do you try and align aspects of this program with school standards?
Yes, we have, of course, there's the 4: listening, speaking, reading, and doing. And everything we did, we go with the tactile, as you can see. We go with the comprehension, listening, and reading. Again, reading for more information. A lot of the kids, I had other books, they just couldn't wait to get another book and learn more about that animal. And then letting them know there's, in this particular topic, there's more endangered animals out there and what we can do. There's a lot of, when you get on, say online or different places, that you can send money in to help endangered animals, or how can we prevent that? The zoo, that's why I went to the zoo. We learned a lot at the zoo about how we are protecting and saving endangered species. The one that was really amazing too was the panda. That is only 500 over in China where we get them. We do not have a panda at the Pittsburgh Zoo. We have the red panda, which looks almost like a raccoon. But you have to be given those from China or you don't get one. So we don't have a panda at our Pittsburgh Zoo, but they start to realize when they see these animals that, and when they're born in the zoo, like say the panda, they're so excited because we can keep that species going on in a controlled environment.
I understand that there are prizes involved. What was awarded and why?
Kids need an incentive to read. I think they would read without them, but it's always fun to do. I was able to get, for the kids, I have here, just down here, the Armstrong Associates Credit Union gave me, where's our little blow up guy? There. They had 22 of those in their building, and they had these little piggy banks, and there was a promotion up back in April, so I said, can I have as many of these you have left over and as many as those as you can? So they gave me 22, which we gave those out at the end. We just drew out the tickets. They gave these banks are in boxes, they gave pens, and then we gave, and this was a bag from the school district had in April a teachers program with all of the Title I students invited to the St. Mary's Hall, and they gave these bags of all kind of things about reading, and they did a reading program too with reading. And so what I did is I asked them if you had any left over, could I have them? And we had enough to give everybody one from the district because they were leftovers. And then we gave them all these books, and we bought these from PTO. We ordered these ahead of time, and they all got whatever book they wanted. And I think the incentives is just like, I don't think they work for the incentives, but when they got them, they were all excited. And how they got them, we had a big a bowl, and we gave them tickets. And every book they read, they got their name on a ticket. And then we just kept pulling out the tickets, and that's how they won. And everybody got something, and then 22 people got the blow-ups, which, but they weren't unhappy about that. They seemed to be okay. But I think incentives are always a kind of a perk for anybody. Even yourself, if you get something free, you're happy.
What age group does this program reach, and who typically attends?
Okay, we put the flyers out from kindergartners to 6th grade. However, the kindergartners, as you know, will be going to 1st grade. I don't have a list of the kids coming into kindergarten, so that's who comes. Typically, the 6th graders are not think it's cool to come because they're going to high school. But where I pull those and I have them be my helpers, and they love that. Well, I'm not going to come, but can I help? And that where I put we usually have for each station at least 2 people, and then the helpers, extra helpers on the craft table to help. But that's how I pull in the older kids who kind of maybe would like to do this, but
Yeah.
they have that change of their opinion once they leave Lenape Elementary, I guess.
Do you have anything else to add for the benefit of our viewers?
Well, no, I'm just knowing this next summer I'll be doing another program. Right now I don't know what it will be. If I can align up with the National Library, which I have, I will. And what I feel too is that we give, it's a small amount of 50 students at Fort City and down at the library and at Lenape, but it's 100 still children that get summer reading. And someday I'd like if possible, if the school district would go back in and we could do more, we could have more kids come. But we'll see what happens next year.
Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guest, Joan More, the chairwoman of the summer reading program at Lenape Elementary School.
Our thanks go out to the TV production students of Armstrong High School, led by their teacher, Mr. Josh Miklos. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at the Armstrong School District. Visit our website for updated information about the district, and have a great week.